Hello everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Life of Cad. This is going to be the first video going up from 2021, so Happy New Year everybody. I hope everyone had a good New Year, or as best as New Year as possible. I thought I would kickstart the year with doing, I'm going to do a makeup video. It's not going to be a tutorial or anything, but I'm just going to be using makeup products that I got for Christmas. Some from an advent calendar. I had a number 7 advent calendar, and then others are just makeup products that I did actually get for Christmas. It won't be a full face because I haven't got like concealer and foundation that was new, so I'm just gonna use them from what I've got. If you see me looking down at all, I'm going to be using a little mirror because I'm currently in front of my usual mirrors that I use. But yeah, let's get started. So the first things I'm going to start with is primer. Now, I got 2 primers for Christmas. So the first one was in a set. You'll see some of the things from this set going along. This is actually a MAC strobe cream, and this is in the shade Pink Light. So far I've just swatched this on my hands, but it's really nice, really illuminating. It seems like it's going to be a really nice colour. So I'm going to try and put this more on like the high points of my face, so where I would highlight anyway, so sort of cheekbones, nose and forehead, that sort of thing. And then I'm going to use this other primer that I got, which is the NYX Honey Dew Me Up primer. And I'm going to use this more like in the centre of my face. This is still quite a loose consistency. I have tried this, but you just work it in and it's really nice. So yeah, I'm going to start with Honey Dew Me Up. Actually, I'm going to just tie my hair back. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. That'll do. So I'm going to start with the Honey Dew Me Up primer. I do usually just, it's got a little like spatula in it, I'll show you in a second. And I do usually just sort of wipe this on my face. No one else is using this, so I still might not be the most hygienic, but no one else is using it, so it's not that much of a problem. You can see when it comes out, it is literally like honey. And I just wipe it either side of my nose. There'll probably be a bit of an overlap of the primers, but this smells as well, but I can't work out what I think it smells of. I don't know if it's just, it's some kind of like herb. That's what it reminds me of. I'm not really sure. It doesn't smell like honey to me. But oh, it gets a bit like stringy and I can feel it on my face. So I'm just using a BH Cosmetics 3 brush. This is just like a fat foundation brush. I don't use these type of brushes for foundation, so I'm just using that to rub this in. And then I'm going to take the MAC strobe cream in Pink Light, and I've just put a little bit on my finger. I'm just going to dab this on my face, and I'm going to put it down my nose and just a little bit where I might highlight. I'm not using loads because I don't know what the consistency of this is. I don't know how well this spreads. I think I'm just going to rub that in with my fingers. I think both of these products, to be honest, you could rub in with the fingers. It's just the NYX one is quite liquidy, so you have to maybe work it in a bit more. If I'm not using either of them primers, I've been using one that came in a number 7 advent calendar. Let me just get that. I think the angle didn't change too much there, but the other one I've been using that's really nice. This is the number 7 Skin Illuminator Natural Looking Radiance for a Beautiful Glow. And it looks like this. It's quite similar to the Becca one that I really like. So yeah, I really thought this was a really good dupe for that actually. You can either use this, it says, as a primer before applying foundation, or you can mix it in with your foundation for added luminosity, lightly applied as a highlighter to your cheeks and brow bone. So you could just use it as a highlighter. I actually, to be honest, just put this all over my face and then just do my usual everyday routine, which is just like concealer, bronzer, brows, that kind of thing. Speaking of brows, I'm going to move on to brows now. I'll probably cut this bit out because these aren't new products. So the brow pencil I'm using is just the Soap and Glory Archery Brow Tint and Precision Shaping Pencil in Brownie Points. This isn't my favourite one, it's quite chunky. I really liked this Revolution Pro one, but I've got it in too much of a warm brown colour. The shades I usually use are either like ash browns or taupe sort of shades. I love the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, I think it's called, and I use that in the shade Ash Brown. So I'll cut this bit out, but I'll come back to you once the brows are done. I don't do anything special with the brows. I literally spoolie through them and then just fit in. I don't change the shape or anything. So moving on next, I do my eyes personally next, just so then I can do my eyes, that can be fallout, I can brush that away, and then I can do my foundation rather than having to try and wipe it away off of foundation. If I happen for any reason to go back in with eyeshadow, or I do my foundation first, I just put a lot of powder under my eyes so then I can just wipe it away. So I've got a few different things here that I'm gonna be maybe using. I'll probably just pick one. The first came from the same set of the MAC one. This is a MAC eyeshadow and this is in Amber Lights. This is a really pretty like orangey shimmery shade. It's really like orangey brown, but it's just so beautiful. I think that'd suit any eye colours, to be honest. I think blue and green eyes, it'd look really nice on. And then I've got three palettes from Morphe, but one's a collaboration. So these are actually so colourful palettes. So I've got 18F Talking Flirty, which is more of a pinky purpley sort of palette. I really like this. I think it's really good. All the shades actually do have names, which in my other Morphe palettes I don't think they do in the big ones I've got. And it's also got a really good sized mirror, so this is really good for taking away. This palette I think I could use, like, this would be one that I could take away somewhere because it's got these matte brown shades. It's got a nice highlight shade, or either of these highlight shades. This is shimmery. I think it looks matte in the camera. Then it's got pinky purples, like reddy sort of colour. So you could do a load of different looks with this, I feel like. But yeah, I really like that palette. And then the second one is 18A Blue Your Away, or Blue Get Away. So this, as the name suggests, is a blue palette. I wanted this because I don't really have palettes with blues in particular. I've got the James Charles palette, and I've got a big Lorac one, but I don't find, sometimes they don't come off, or they can be a bit chalky, whereas I really like the Morphe shades. So this is what the blue palette looks like. Again, obviously it's mainly blues. We've got shimmers, we've got mattes in there, but there's also like some matte browns for like crease colours. This is a really dark, like, it looks black like on my finger, but in the pan it looks more like browny purpley, like a plum sort of shade. We've got a really dark navy, and then if you were doing a complete like blue look, there is like lighter blue highlight shades as well, which would look really nice. And then lastly, if you follow my Instagram, you might have seen that I have done I posted a picture using this palette, and this is the Maddie Ziegler, is that how you pronounce the name? I'm not sure. I'm going to say Ziegler. Maddie from Dance Mums, that's where I originally know her from, or she's in all the Sia videos. And this is the Imagination palette. This is beautiful. So I did a look that was really similar to this. I think she's got some purple and pink there. I just did blue and then purple. But this is so nice. It's got so many matte, like, brown shades. So these four here are matte brown, or these five here, matte browns. We've got a matte yellow, a plum, a purple, blue, green, black. I think it's really nice to have a matte black in a palette. I think every palette needs one, really. So she's got like the matte black, she's got plum colours, purples, greens, oranges, like red, pinks. It's a really nice all-round palette. And I've been reaching for this quite a lot, even just for the matte shades, because they're just really nice to start crease colours with. So I think I probably will start with this palette. I might do a bit of this and a bit of the 18F, is this one? Yeah, the pinky purpley one. I'm not sure how. I'm not going to do anything crazy. And then also I'm going to be using some makeup brushes that I got for Christmas. These are the Zoeva brushes. Really like some of their brushes. I've had a couple of eye brushes from them before, but I got like an eye brush set. And then it's a really good set actually. I would recommend it because it's got like fluffy brushes, precision brushes, like pencil brushes, lid, like all sorts of brushes. Really good. So I would really recommend that. Oh. So I'm going to start with the Maddie palette, and I'm just going to take M3 here, and I'm just going to do that in my crease. I always do quite a lot like big shadow movements because I always then either wipe away or use my concealer to sort of wing it a bit. It's not like a proper wing, but just I try and create a bit of a line. So I do go like right here. I'm not going to do a big dark look or anything, so this is only going to be like brown and then a shadow, a shimmer on my lid probably. Does anyone have any New Year's resolutions for the year? I don't really typically make resolutions. I'm not very good at sticking to them. I've tried to think of things in my head like exercising more and eating more healthily, which I've started doing, and it's going all right. I've started doing the sort of eating healthy and trying to exercise. Me and my mum had actually literally just signed up for the gym, or there's an app called Hustle where you like just search sort of your location and then you buy passes for the gyms. It will tell you what gyms, obviously it's only going to come up with the gyms, and it just swimming pools I think as well, that accept Hustle passes, and then you pay for them, and you can pay for either one or like we paid for 10. And there's like, you can get discount codes, so it worked out to be literally like £3 a session or something, which I think for the gym is really good, because when I used to go with my friends sometimes when I was at when I was in sixth form, it'd be like £8 sometimes to go, something like that. Like it was a lot more expensive, but we literally went like twice. And then it was Christmas week, so we were both working because we were going like days off, or on my days off, and when she finished work like earlier, I was meeting her at work and we were going 2ish. And then obviously after Christmas, where I live is in tier 4, so the gyms are closed. So I'm hoping obviously they should push some passes on, because I've still got another 8 to use. But yeah, so I was trying to start to go to the gym anyway. So I've been trying to do workouts in the morning. I mean, I've only done 2 days of this, but I just literally Googled. So the person I've been using is MadFit, or MadsFit, and she's really good. She's got like 5 million subscribers or something like that, so you probably have heard of her. And I've just been choosing one of her workouts, just one of the no equipment, usually no jumping ones as well. And then I've also been doing like a stretching one after, because I'm not a very flexible person and I'd quite like to just be a bit more flexible maybe. I have no stretch, like one of the stretches ones was, it wasn't Mad, it was another one, and you had to like, it was like a straddle stretch, and it wanted your legs like either side of you straight out, and there's no clue. My legs were like this in front of me, like I could not get that far at all. So I'm trying that. Also my posture, I mean, if you can see, I'm not got the best posture. I try and like roll my shoulders back, just sit back more, but it's just not very good. I'm on my feet all the time, so I'm constantly walking around, so it's not something that I think about. Whereas I think maybe at a desk, when you're leaning over a computer, although your posture's bad, it might be something you think about if they ache. I'm not really sure. I've only had one job, and I wasn't even there for a full year, where I was sort of semi-sitting at a desk for a lot of the time. It turned out to be more than I wanted it to be. But anyway, besides the point, yeah, that's something I'm trying to think of. And I saw Amber from Love Island. I can't, Amber Davis, is her name? No, that's a different one. Amber. Can't think of her last name. She's just brought out a workout plan anyway. But she put an Instagram picture up, or it was on Twitter or something, and she was saying, someone asked her about her posture, and she was like, oh, it's from, I've been stretching and like trying to be more mobile and stretching out my posture and that sort of thing, and that's helped her posture. So I'm hoping, even if on days where I really don't want to work out, I'm going to do a stretch, because like the one I did this morning was like 15 minutes long. So it's something I could do. I prefer to do things in the morning because it's out of the way, but on the days that I'm working, I can do them in the evenings, and they just don't take that long to do. It makes you feel quite nice actually. I have enjoyed in the past few days. I've also got some green tea. I'm trying to drink that because that's supposed to be good for you. They're flavoured ones, so one's tropical and one's pomegranate. I did add some honey to mine though, because I found it wasn't sweet enough for what I'd personally like. I think that's enough brown. So yeah, I did add some honey into mine just to make it a bit sweeter and a bit more drinkable for me. But it wasn't horrible on its own. I thought it was going to be really nasty, but it wasn't. So I'm going to take up the 18F palette, and I'm just going to take either this shade or this shade on a slightly smaller brush on this one. This is the, this is a Morphe M330. This shade is a bit reddy, so I'm going to mix the two shades that I just pointed at, just to run them through my crease a bit. But yeah, does anyone have any resolutions for the year? I've seen a lot of people making mood boards, which I like the idea of, but one, I don't really want to put it up in my room. So I could create I suppose, like a screensaver for my laptop. I could do that. But I think, I don't know, my resolution is to say just to eat healthier. Try to anyway. Not completely, because I would never stick to it if I tried to eat like 100% healthy, no carbs, no sugar. I think sugar's my massive downfall. I've got a massive sweet tooth. I eat a lot of chocolate. Partly when I'm at work, I eat a lot of it. So I think trying to cut out that for me is the main thing. And that would probably help. I really like the Real Housewives of Cheshire, and Rachel Lugo from it, on her Instagram the other day, she did like a reality check on her body or something. Like, she was showing that she bought a pair of shorts in the summer and she can't even get them past her thighs now. And she was saying the main way she did it was she cut out sugar, just didn't eat sugar, and she exercised every day. So I think cutting out sugar will help. I'm not massively I'm not overweight, as in like I'm only a size 10, but I just have I'm not toned at all. So I just like to be a bit toned and just generally eat healthy. If I can. I'm saying this now, probably by next week I'm literally going to be eating a full bar of chocolate again every day. But, you know, the thought's there. And then my other resolution, maybe to try and grow like YouTube more, try and post a bit more frequently. I was doing like a weekly upload just over Christmas. I just didn't upload. I was working more. I said I'd been furloughed, but my rota over Christmas and New Year's was more than the furloughed one, if that makes sense. So I worked a little bit more, and then I've gone back to furlough again now. So I'm only at work like 2 days this week, and then I'm off for something like 18 days. So I'm hoping to be able to film a bit more, but not necessarily just for YouTube. So I filmed a reel yesterday, which will be going up on Wednesday night. I won't ever be able to post every day. I'm not ready for the day, so it's not something I will do. I just don't get ready like this every day. So I don't know, maybe I will. I'm not sure, but I'm just going to try and post a bit more on both, so the things sort of coincide, they go hand in hand. Maybe on my Instagram at the moment it's mainly makeup and the reel is makeup, but I'm thinking maybe some clothes reels as well. I'm not too sure. I'm still getting comfortable with taking pictures and that. I'm on my own, it's fine, like I can do it. It takes me forever, honestly. For the colourful picture I took the other night, I think I took between like 60 and 80 photos, because I just didn't like any of them. Like, it took me forever to take. I don't edit the pictures or anything, so once I've found one I just upload it, but it just took me so long to find one. I just couldn't decide. It just wasn't working right. In the end, I think I had this top on, and then I ended up putting another top on, and it seemed to go a bit better. I don't know if it was just, I'm not really sure, but it takes me a while, so I think that's why I don't really upload very often. But I'd like to be able to upload more. And then, yeah, eating healthy, I suppose. That's the only things I've really got. Finish my college thing that I'm doing, and another online course, because then they're done and out the way, because they take up quite a bit of time as well. Even when I have days off, then it's different now. I'm furloughed because I've got more time, but before, there were like 1 or 2 days off I had a week, I was having to do college stuff, which, you know, when you got a day off, it's not sometimes really what you want to be doing. But, you know, I'm gonna finish it, get them finished, and then I've got them under my belt. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to do a lid colour now, and I'm going to use the Maddie colour. It's called And Back, and it's this like, oh, wrong side. It's this like pinky, bronzy sort of colour. I've made the mistake. I've not got much wipe on me. So I'm going to take the Zoeva Luxe Smoky Shader, number 234. Like this flat shader brush. I haven't really played around with her shimmers. Because in the pan, some of these look like this to the moon looks literally like glitter chunks rather than a shimmer. I said I was doing an everyday look, and I've now done dark and gone for shimmer, so this isn't an everyday look anymore. This is just me playing around with the makeup. So I'm just going to leave that there. I'll add a bit of a highlighty sort of shade later. But for now, I'm going to go on to skin. I'm going to be using a concealer, which I used anyway. This isn't a new one. This is just the Collection Lasting Perfection. So I just put that here. Here. The little spot there. I'm actually not going to put foundation on today because I just don't really want to. Oh, I can't really be bothered, to be honest. Sometimes find putting foundation on and off. It's not. I've literally the past 2 days been doing makeup looks, but literally putting them on and then taking them off again. Even when I did the colourful one the other day, my mum was like, "You've just taken." She came in when I was doing it, and she said, and then I went downstairs about 10 minutes later, and she literally was like, "You've taken it off," but I just. Like, unless I'm going out somewhere, I like to let my skin breathe because I don't want to kick it all up. So that's all I'm doing. Foundation, concealer wise, I have got a new product to try now. This is the Laura Mercier translucent powder, or translucent loose setting powder in the shade translucent. I always want to try this. I've used the number 7 one for so long. Love that. I have used this a couple of times and really like it so far. This, although this is translucent, this actually looks a little bit more yellow, so I think this is probably maybe a bit better to use because the number 7 one is like a white one, so once it's on, it's pretty white. Oh, I've just realised I've not contoured, and I've just done this. Never mind. So I've done the steps wrong. I would usually then do a bit of contour there. I'm going to do it anyway. We'll see. I shouldn't really put cream on top of powder. It's not going to mix very well, but we'll see. This is the Wet n Wild Dual Ended Contour Stick. I've used this a lot of times anyway, but there isn't any new products that I want. So I should line there, line down my nose. I'm having to do this like in my phone camera, and then I'm going to use the Real Techniques sculpting brush. It's really a dense brush, but it's like angled, and I like dab and press but go upwards because I don't want you contour down here. So I do film all my videos on my iPhone. I've got the 11 Pro Max, so I do really like that, and the camera is really good. I'd quite like to invest in a camera, but I didn't want to spend too much money on a camera. I have seen second-hand Canons, but then I've seen a lot of people now recently using the Sony one, but that's more than the Canon, so and I've not seen second-hand ones of them, so I'm a bit stumped. If anyone has good camera recommendations that don't have to be the Canon G7X or the Sony, is it like the ZV-11 or AV-11, something like that. I've seen people using that, and that's supposed to be really good. If anyone has any recommendations of cameras to use, because I'd quite like to invest in one. I'm obviously on my phone at the moment, and it does seem to be fine. It's just when I do some videos I feel like once they're uploaded they don't look as good online. I'm not sure. I was hoping to buy one around Christmas time, but with Christmas I just didn't end up having the money. So I'm just going to dust this away. This is just the Real Techniques Setter brush. Christmas was expensive, so I don't have the money for that. But hopefully this year that's also something I'd like to do. Invest in a camera for it. I've got a little mini ring light and I'm using my brother's as well, just for a bit of extra light. I realised the other day that there are 2 in the house I could use. So yeah, I've been using his as well and used it for my reels and use it for the picture. I can't remember, but I used it for the reels anyway. And his is also a big one, whereas mine's a little mini desk one, whereas you're on a big tripod on his at the moment. I've just had a special guest who's just had a groom. Oh, so she's just had a little groom, so she's nice and short, haven't you? Yeah, I know. So she's just was groomed yesterday, so she's got really short fur, hence the little jumper. And she's got a really nice new collar, which I'll link these down below. Not that anyone's probably going to be interested, but it's called like Me and My Dogs. It's like a tweed, really nice, like light grey and rose gold one. And Casper's got this, well, not the same collar, but a tweed one as well. Okay. She thinks she's a guard dog. Oh, come on then. I think she wants to sit on my lap. So, next step, the Revolution Sculpting Bronzer. Again, this isn't a new one. This is something that I've been using last year. Sorry if you can see a little ear and a head. Aha! And then I'm gonna now get something that is new. This is the Morphe 8W Warm Master Blush Palette. I know, do you want to have a look? Would you like to look? Wow, so this is a really nice palette. This shade here really reminds me of NARS Orgasm. It is in the shade Witty, but there's some nice like cool brown colours, an orange. Where are you going? Would you like to get down? And don't chew it. Okay, yeah, look. I'm going to take Witty, which is like a shimmery pinky colour. Right, I'm going to go in with MUA as well, which is like a matte, corally orangey brown colour. You can see that really. Next is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal. Really like this highlighter. I always used to use Champagne Pop. I have the Jaclyn Hill edition, like the gold one. And that used to be my favourite. And then I had Opal in a set once. It was like a trio, and it's a bronzer, blush and a highlight, and it was Opal. And then I started using this and I thought, oh, actually this is a lot more natural because I'm not very tanned. Well, if you can see how pale I am, I'm really pale. So I think sometimes Champagne Pop was a bit too orangey for my skin tone maybe. Still really nice, but I think it will look beautiful on like a deeper, darker skin tone. Next is eyes, and I do actually have quite a lot to choose from for eyes. For mascara, so I'm going to use these throughout different videos because obviously I'm not going to use them all now. So I got the number 7 Extreme Length Mascara in the advent calendar. I think a lot of these have like these silicone brushes, which aren't the ones that I usually use. I like the actual like bristle thick ones. And then in a Soap and Glory set that I got the Soap and Glory Thick and Fast High Definition Mascara, which is a bit more bristly, but it's not quite. The ones I usually have are like a figure of 8, like an hourglass. Ooh. I like an hourglass figure of 8 shape that I usually tend to go for. And then in the same MAC set, I also got the MAC in Extreme Dimension 3D Black Lash Mascara, which is thicker and it's got the spikes on the end like their real does by Benefit, if you can see that or not. And then 3 more. These came in a set. My mum got me these. 3 Benefit ones. So we've got their real, which, see, like the MAC one is got the spikes on the end, so you can really get in there and you can do the ones at the bottom nice and easy. Again, a silicone brush. And then I've got Bad Gal Bang, which, again, a silicone type brush. And then Roller Lash as well, which I know a lot of people love. Again, like a silicone brush, but it's one of the ones that's got like a dip in the middle, so it's like a U shape. I'm really not sure which one to go for because I've tried many. I'm going to go for Bad Girl Bang just to try it. We're going to see. Oh. I always curl my lashes. I've got really rubbish straight, like lashes that stick down. So I always curl them anyway because they won't curl otherwise. Thought I had lashes missing in the middle of my lash line, but it's not. I'm safe. So here we go, Bad Gal Bang. I actually really like that. We'll do the other eye. I actually really like that mascara. You probably can't see because I've got really rubbish eyelashes, but I really like that actually, which I'm glad I have a new alternative. Next is lips. Again, I've got a few options for lips. So I've got 2 lip liners, which I brought before Christmas. And these are the Morphe Backseat Love and Morphe Foolish. So Foolish is a lot more pinky, a lot more rosy in colour. I've been using Backseat Love, to be honest, more. It's just a really nice nude colour. And then I've got 4 lipsticks to choose from. So in that same MAC set came Velvet Teddy, which I've used my friends before. It's a really nice nudie shade, really. So this is Foolish. This is Backseat Love. This is Velvet Teddy. I think that's a staple for people that have been on YouTube, isn't it? And then next is number 7 Moisture Drench in Desert Road. Desert Road? Did I say that right? This again is a nudie pink, but a bit more brown toned. That's really nice actually. And then I've got the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, which again is a nude, slightly darker. This is the one that I've been opting for. It's nice and matte pink nude shade here. And then lastly is Morphe Commit. And I got the liners and the lipstick because Lydia Lydia on YouTube anyway said this is a shade she lives. This is the lot. See that if I do it here? I'll do it here. I'm like across my bone, so that's a really dodgy swatch. This is a really brown tone. It's quite similar to Desert Rose, but not shiny. So I might actually try Morphe Commit because I'd quite like to see how that looks. I'm going to line my lips anyway with Backseat Love, so that it's got a bit of a pinkier background. I just line my lips, don't overline. If I could, I would. Just my top lip, because my top lip's not really big compared to the bottom one. So that's the liner. So I'm going to try Morphe Commit. So this shade, it makes it really pale. I think I would opt to wear a gloss over this if I was to wear this on its own. So I'm going to put a bit of Velvet Teddy over the top and leave it at that. And then setting spray. I've been using the Madison Beer Morphe Seal the Deal Luminous setting spray. You really have to shake it to So pretty. Really like this. I got a couple of setting sprays for Christmas. So I got this one. I got Mac Fix Plus in that set, and then also the Revolution Pro Goddess Glow Fixing Spray with niacinamide and cucumber extract, which sometimes I just spray that when I'm doing my skincare because it smells nice. So but I usually that step earlier because then I put my highlight over the top. Oh, really like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Amber Lights, this Zoeva 322 brow line brush. It's a really tiny one. I'm just going to take a MAC Amber Light and mirror. And that is it. Actually, oh, a little water spot. I'm going to take a tiny bit of the Becca highlighter in a corner. Oh, I've just realised, I don't know if you can see, I've got concealer that I didn't rub in. Forgot I'd put it there. Oh, so that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will link all the products down below that I've mentioned, even the ones that I haven't used. So, for example, all the mascaras and the lip products. I'd really appreciate if you could like and subscribe to my channel, and let me know if there's any videos in the future that you'd like to see. I've got a couple of ideas, but as I say, with not having a proper camera, it could be quite difficult to film them. Hopefully I'll be able to film some more outfit ones as well, but I'm trying to save money. That's a New Year's resolution, trying to save money. I'm not very good at that, so I'm going to try and save a bit more money this year if I can. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching this video. Yeah, as I said, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.